While covering the National Association of Christian Lawmakers Conference in Lynchburg, Virginia on Friday, I spoke with Republican Congressman from Virginia, Bob Good. The interview ranged from why it's important for people of faith to serve in government to the latest on the Trump and Biden document scandals.
Well, if we don't have people of faith involved, obviously think what we're going to be left with. It's important that we take our faith into the public square. We're called to be salt and light wherever we are. You know, being a witness, being salt and light is not based on your occupation. It's not based on your position or your job. We ought to do that, whatever our occupation is, wherever we're serving, and certainly that is true in the public square. And so we need people of faith, people of biblical and constitutional principles making the laws that affect every aspect of our lives.
They're talking about a lot of issues here this weekend. I'll rattle off a couple of them. Education. Education's a big one. We're in a mess right now, aren't we?
No question about it. We have been losing that battle for the past 60 years or so in particular. And whether it's K-12 or college campuses, the indoctrination of our kids, our young people that don't believe anymore that America is exceptional, that America's worth fighting for, that America is that beacon of hope, that beacon of light on the globe, on the world stage, I should say. You know, they're indoctrinated with anti-American philosophy. They're indoctrinated with all kinds of radical racist ideology, diversity, equity, inclusion, CRT, all of that, not to mention transgender, LGBTQ stuff. It's a real battle for the young people. You know, and actually on the college campuses, I tell my friends, don't send your kid to a school that you're going to pay tens of thousands of dollars to see if they can change how they think. If they can take 4 or 5 years to undo what you've done for 18 or 19 years with your resources, with your money.
Yeah. Family values, a big thing these days, and it seems like there's an attack on the traditional marriage, traditional family. How can we push back?
Well, I often say in speeches, in remarks, in interviews, and even on the House floor or in committee meetings, almost everything that plagues our society, our culture, and our country is a failure to follow God's principles for morality, for marriage and the family. If you think about people that you know whose lives are in turmoil, they're in disarray, have they followed God's design for morality, marriage, and the family? And the answer is almost always no. So we've got to speak truth, and the truth begins with God's word. It begins with the foundations our country was founded upon, which again is our faith, it's our family, it's our churches, it's our institutions. That's under assault. We've got to go on offense. We've got to be bold. We have to realize that appeasement does not work.
Does the same hold true for religious freedom? Because we seem to be having trouble in that area as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And matter of fact, in a committee hearing just this week, I'm on the committee, Education Workforce Committee, and we were interviewing Julie Su, who was the Secretary of Labor in California, who is Biden's acting Secretary of Labor, and I was challenging her on the Biden rule, stripping away the Trump protections that we had in place for religious liberties, religious freedom in the workplace. And what the Biden administration is trying to do is to strip away the protection that a faith-based, religious-based organization has to hire according to their deeply held religious views. And of course, what that's about is trying to force them to have to hire people who are trans, who are living a homosexual lifestyle, those sorts of things, which are contrary to the views, of course, many of faith-based institutions.
What is it that keeps you encouraged, keeps you going?
Well, it certainly is still the American people. I mean, we're in a difficult place as a country. We're in danger of losing our country. But as a newer member of Congress, I've been there 2.5 years. My wife and I know there's thousands of people who are praying for us, holding us up, and we know that we're not alone in the battle. I've got some iron sharpened iron in Washington. I've got 20 or so colleagues who are really fighting the battle boldly alongside me. But more importantly, we know that what we're doing is right biblically, what we're doing is right constitutionally, what we're doing is right for the country, and we believe that most Americans are behind what we're doing.
The indictment was unsealed today on President Trump. We know what's in there. Why are we not seeing anything moving forward about Joe Biden or even Hunter Biden?
You know, it's funny you say that, because I did an interview today, and the reporter asked me, right, the first thing I want to talk about was the Trump indictment. I said, why are you not asking me about the FBI memo from yesterday implicating further the Biden crime family? Why don't you care about how compromised the Biden family is when it comes to business relationships with China, with Ukraine, how that might be impacting that we're treating China now as some kind of competitive partner instead of an adversary, how we're sending $100 billion to Ukraine last year? You think that might be influenced by the questionable business activities by the Biden crime family, and why are you not asking about that?
Our thanks to Congressman Good for spending some time with us. And for more information on Representative Bob Good, visit good.house.gov.